Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 10 with the Montreal Canadiens Return to Glory. Welcome back. If you're last with us, you would have seen that we end up losing against Columbus Blue Jackets in 7 games, only for them to lose against Chicago. So Chicago won 2 years in a row. I think if we end up making it to the finals there, we probably would have beat them. We've beat them in the past, and Bedard is no match for Montreal. That's all I'm going to say. But it is unfortunate. We did have 3 straight President's Trophies, and before that we end up having 3 straight Stanley Cups. So that's all we can really do. We're hoping to at least get either 4 straight President's Trophies or a Stanley Cup in this season as well. Unfortunately, in terms of our cap, we're going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit difficult for us next season. I mean, currently we have around 8 million so far this season. It's going to be around 5 next season, but looking further into it, Benson's going to need a contract. Celebrini needs a contract as well, and Rubrick and either one of these guys, probably Jan Pravaznik might get the nod there. And then we end up extending Huang for just a million more, so that's not too bad. And then Vernhoff is going to be asking for an extension soon. Sharp getting just a little bit more, around $1.5 million extra there. And then Prudhomme now kicks into $3 million, but we might. I mean, his 50 points last year is pretty good though. And then Janicic is finally. His cap's going to hit us with 2.7, and then you have Gustafson kind of coming up there as well. We might give him the nod this season, and then Ottinger has one more season on his 12 million. And then we have a bunch of these guys, but unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to some players. We got rid of Lambos for first and Bzowski for a second. Unfortunately, that's just what we had to do. I don't really see how we could have moved forward with Lambos, just because his contract, he was asking for way too much, and if we could get a first round high pick, it would work. And then I think we had some other trades as well. Let me see this. Did we do? Yeah, Periskak. No, that was last year. So no, we didn't do anything else. That was it. I don't even think we're going to look at anyone in terms of free agency because everyone just looks so expensive. I mean, Leo Carlson looks good, and then most of these guys are injured. Even Peresk has a MCL sprain, so I don't know how long he's going to be out for. And then even Holtz has a grade 2 concussion, so he's going to be out 3 to 4 months. So why do we even want to entertain that? Like most of the good guys are injured, so I mean, do we take a chance, put them on our IR immediately, and then kind of find a way that way? Maybe. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad, but I'm finding it a little bit hard to wrap my head around that. And then if you look at in terms of our depth here, we do have a decent solid line still. I mean, I think getting rid of the defender is probably going to hurt us. Lambos, and then Spernad, I don't even know how to say his name, but we're going to call him Peter. Peter's going to probably end up jumping up there, or Edwin Lundqvist as well. I don't know why he was in our AHL there. But we do have 3 first-rounders this year. I mean, I don't think they're going to be that great. I think Minnesota Wild is probably the best one. Chris Curtin, we actually... Why is it showing he's so bad, though? I guess he's much worse just compared to what we already have. But his potential's there. I might end up... I might want to sign him, actually. I mean, his checking's decent. Is he going to develop better with us, or you know what? That's what we're going to kind of test out, I guess. If we end up offering him a contract, let's see if we're better than the NCAA right off the bat. So he'll probably bounce around from us in the AHL, but Chris Curtin, we end up drafting him in the first round, late too, 2 years ago. But we'll just jump up to the draft lottery and see if we end up getting a decent pick there. So looking at the draft lottery, we currently have 2 picks, 1 pick that's 6 at the moment and 1 pick that's 8. So let's see if we can manage to make it a little bit better. The Seattle not moving is bothering me, so we might get one worse here, and we do. Vancouver, and we get another one worse. So Seattle's probably going to get number 1 here. Jesus. So all in all, we end up doing a little bit worse than that. 7 and 9 is what we have to show for that. Before it was 6 and 8, so we end up going back 2 slots there. Not the greatest, I guess. But what can you really do? I mean, I don't know how realistic those kind of things are, but I think they're just killing us for the first year where we end up moving up super early. But this draft might be trash again. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, of course it's the best offer. It's the only offer right now, but we might need the rookie deal anyways. So we'll just do I guess we'll do next pick here. Derek O'Halloran going first. He was projected to go 7th, so already there's issues there. There was an issue that I was having with the trade thing as well. I'll go into it after, but I was doing the shop thing and it wasn't allowing me to do it at all. I'm just going to call him Mitch. Mitch was projected to be 8th, so that's kind of weird. Is Jacob? Jacob is 11th, so he's probably going to be next. So I'm very curious as to who was supposed to go first. Guess we'll have to. I'll just do next pick until we end up finding the first pick, or we get our next pick. He was projected to be 4th, so there's still 1, 2, and 3. This is happening again. Tremblay, I think he was supposed to be 1st. He was projected to be number 2. So we currently have the next pick, I believe. Oh no, it's 1 more actually, I think. Yep, pick until human. And let's see if he was supposed to be the number 1. And he's supposed to be number 5. So number 1 was supposed to be who? Boric. Okay. Boric was projected to be 1. Let's find him, I guess. Let's, I guess, add to draft list there. You know what? We'll pick him with our first pick. We have the next pick like 3 later, anyways, and then we'll just pick until human there. See what we end up missing out on. So just 1 more pick later. What the hell is this guy? He was projected to be number 3. Okay, so we end up going 1 instead of 3 there. Tuomela is the next one that's projected there. Current ability is decent, and then there's Lamb as well. His acceleration looks decent. Passing, his temperament, professionalism, determination is not that bad either. Face-off's pretty decent. He's projected to be 10th. And then Lamb here doesn't look that good. Projected 115th. He might still be there for a while there. Let's take a look at this guy as well. Artyom, projected to be 100th, but his ability looks pretty decent. And then even Dustin Potvin, left winger there, he's projected to be 21. So guess we'll take the Tuomela guy and see who's left there. We might, and then it looks like all of them are gone. That is insane. So all the guys that are projected to go much later end up going much earlier. Center and a lefty. Huh. You know what? I'm kind of curious, actually. You know what? We probably shouldn't burn a pick like this, but let's pick him anyways. He got my attention. Probably not the best thing to do, but now all these picks are going to be pretty terrible. Who is this guy? Projected to be 15th. Loris Gut. We'll pick you. So I guess that kind of makes up for the pick that we ended up doing before. I guess a goalie. Determination's high. Stamina's high, professionalism's high. Not bad actually. Projected to be 40th. Then Longboat's the other one, who doesn't look at all impressive in terms of at least the mental, but determination's huge. So he's 37. I'm not opposed to grabbing both. We'll grab both goalies. I know it's probably taboo, but let's see the experiment. We'll see in the next 3 years who develops into what. Reimer. So is there anyone that's a 2? This guy looks good. Lopel. Puck handling. He is an 18 as well. Shutdown defense. I like those. We're going to take Jeremiah for sure. Unless he switches on us. Where's Jeremiah? There we go. We'll pick Kopel. And now these are the only ones that are currently decent. 20. Kevin Poulin looks alright. He's going to play in the QM. Pick 169, so I might hold off on that. Granted, they're grabbing people that are projected to be so much later anyways, so 160, 190. Yeah, it's a bit early for those ones. 17-year-old, not bad. Stamina, determination, temperament. Not all of them not that bad. 125 is what he's projected as. Haven't really taken too many Germans. Doesn't look like our scouting's been too crazy on him. Another goalie. We're not going to do that. And another goalie here. So it's either him or 2 goalies or Stillman. Stillman is playing the OHL, but doesn't look like he's really playing that much. I think we take a chance on the German. He's not projected to be drafted at all, so Kuntz is going to come with us. 17-year-old, why not? Oh, and then we get the next pick as well, so it really didn't matter. Now this is where we kind of just, I guess, let's pick based on stats. WHL 42, and he's a center, though. Bergstrom 18. Let's just take a chance on you, I guess. We won't even really look at what they're projected as, I guess, but still kind of curious. So I might actually do it, but all these guys are 18, so it's not too bad. Pick 19, yeah. Troy Carmody, we're going to take you. I knew I know I said I wasn't going to do that, but the first one projected to be first round pick. Kind of have to take that with a little bit of like seriousness there. Projected to be 46. I think we're going to get him super late too. So at least half of what he's projected there. Kronwaltz looks pretty good too. And he's gone. I don't know where. Fefilov. Such a weird name. Playmaker, projected to be 69-70. He is playing the KHL. I do like that as well. I think I have it rated like NCAA is probably my number one. I think J18 is probably one of my bottom ones, and then OHL, it's like hit or miss. WHL is kind of the same way. I'm not even going to try and say this guy's name, but Nikita Zanny. Zanny's not bad, but he's a free agent in 20. Yeah, so no on that one. Danny, I think I mean, in reality, none of these picks really matter that much. I don't think we might get one diamond in the rough, but it's going to be a lot of research for absolutely nothing. Maybe, I mean, Zanny's the best there. Poulin here. Yeah, let's go Poulin now. And then see if any of these guys that we kind of drafted, that we kind of scouted. So it doesn't look like in terms of anything current ability though. Fefilov. You know what? Let's take a chance on this Latvian dude. Pick 88. You know, not too bad. That's around half of what he was projected there. And then this is the guy that we were looking at before. Then a bunch of 20-year-olds. Fefilov. You know what? We'll take you. Don't think we need defenders, but oh, I was about to say the Isman Gulov guy kind of looks interesting. Salen, Stick checking's decent. Temperament's okay. He's 18 and a free agent. Salen, yeah, we'll take you. We probably will need a lefty, but again, none of these picks are probably going to matter. I think that is it. I think that's our draft. Unless we end up having our 7th, which I don't think we do. Yeah, we don't. So that's the draft. We'll see what they're going to mark us as. But I don't think it's going to be that great. Maybe it is, because we got the first pick a little bit later than what he normally went for. But yeah, so far, I don't know. These drafts are kind of waning a little bit, so these first round picks don't really mean the same. Like Lambeau should have probably gone for more than a first. Should have been able to go for like probably at least 2 firsts based on how these drafts are. And Lambos is still pretty young. So we're not even in the top guys. Blues draft the best. 2-star, half a star. How? Okay. Alright, so yeah, clearly I do not know what I'm talking about. Jacob is a 5-star. So let's take a look at who we grabbed then. Because that's going to be pretty pathetic there. Let's see. You can do it like this. I did it before. Where is it? Oh, it's going to go in draft. Alright, so these are the guys that we picked. I think we have to click on each one of them, so that's so annoying. And that was the Lambos pick that we got. So currently it says 4.5, but I mean, I still don't know if it's going to be anything. 4th liner, so we'll have to take a look in terms of where they fit into our depth. But in terms of our goalies, I think please don't tell me it's, oh no, it's Longboat is one of them, and then Matt is the other one. Even Boric is here. He's not even close. Can't even see him if we end up looking at him. Toropchenko is probably going to go as well. He's starting to depreciate pretty quickly. And then Zachary Morin might make the jump. This year we have to get rid of him. Rosa as well. But yeah, Curtin should probably come up with us. Lundqvist is already up with us. Ivan Kovic is going to be decent backup. And even Ronnie Leacap might have to come up with us as well. So we'll just sim to the beginning of the season and see what we end up doing until then. And fast forward to the beginning of the season, and we are currently favorite, but they're praising Demidov as our top guy, which is pretty cool. I mean, he was one of the guys that we ended up grabbing very early on the save, and he says that, or they're saying that we have a team to beat this year. And then the other shout out is Jake Ottinger is also the top guy as well. We keep getting a bunch of these stupid things. The amount of bullshit that I've had for Team Harmony, this is the whole off season. You can't tell me this is not bullshit, because this hasn't happened throughout the whole thing, and it just all of a sudden started to happen now, right before the season starts. So we haven't had this issue for 10 years in the game, but now all of a sudden we're getting it. I think it did show. Okay, we end up losing. What? Oh, we end up losing Zetterberg and Zach Morin, unfortunately. We just ended up bringing him down to our AHL, but Preds ended up swooping him up, so I guess we won't be able to have him next year. I think he was towards the end of his contract anyways. I mean, 2 more years, but he probably wasn't going to make it to their first team anyways. And then Alexander Zetterberg, he only really played 13 games with us. He mainly just bumped around the AHL. And then this is the team that we have moving forward. I'm going to probably regret this. Someone just went down. I'm not sure who. Oh, Hopkins just got waived. Okay, just so we end up making the cap there. That kind of makes sense, but he'll probably end up getting brought up anyways. So currently, these are the people that we're keeping up. Cage Smith managing to get the nod over Ronnie Leacap and Ikonikov. So our lines end up looking like this. Jake Ottinger and Ivan Kovic as our goalies. You have Pravaznik, Frollo and Gunnarsson, and then Rubrick, Celebrini, and Carlson with Slavkovsky, Suzuki, and St. Louis. And then Cole Caulfield, Benson with the contract extension as well, and Demidov at the top. This year is going to be Will Sharp and Huang, Prudhomme and Vernhoff, and then Janicic and Strud. So only really two big changes is Lambos leaving here, and then also just Strad coming in here as well. I'm not sure who we end up losing. I think it was, I don't know, Curtin's also on the roster as well. So I'm trying to remember who was our other right D there. Or no, it was probably another lefty, I guess. I don't know. And then our fourth line kind of looks the same. I think Provaznic ends up being the only difference, really. So we end up facing New Jersey first. I think they'll be the. I think we faced them the last couple times first. It seems like I know we faced them very early on. Buffalo already in the lead with one win, and same thing with Calgary. Winnipeg at the bottom, and so is Philly Flyers. I think we have what it takes here. 8-2. Wow. Okay. And Reinbacher putting the hurts to us. What did we give up for him? Reinbacher getting the last dagger at the very end. Probably an empty netter. Jesus. He didn't do very well last year for them. But he's doing pretty good game one. I mean, his $5 million is probably the reason why we end up having to parting with him. But we end up getting rid of him for a first round pick, who then we got Rosenbaum, who's not really. He's going to be an AHLer probably, but does show potential as 4.5, but I haven't really seen that as of yet. He is only 20, so there is still a lot of time for that. But not too bad, not too bad. We still gotta improve, obviously. But taking the first loss, game one, probably not the best. I don't know how good we're going to be this season. It's 50-50. We end up having to get rid of a little bit, one of our better players as well. And for whatever reason, Ottinger just seems to be, I don't know, he seems to be lackluster, at least in the postseason. And then we have our first back-to-back game here against Pittsburgh first and then Buffalo. They couldn't pick two teams that we do not want to face back-to-back here. But let's see. I don't know why that was doing that. They're in rebuild and Buffalo's win now, so let's take a look here. See what they end up doing here. It looks like Hopkins got brought back, at least for this game. He might have to get brought back down afterwards. But he's not even being brought up to play, he's just being brought up to stay on our roster. I think I was telling you guys last year. Another guy came up too. Oh no, Will Sharp. Okay, never mind. One of the things I end up noticing is two back-to-back losses. Is that you're able to bring someone up, and then immediately they're going to say your salary cap is exceeded. But it seems as though if it's within like $1 million, we can bring them up every single time. But we risk the chance at obviously losing them the next game. 2 losses right off the bat. This isn't looking very good just off the start. But sometimes it's a slow start, especially with the harmony and all that kind of stuff. I think it does play a little bit of effect into it. Oh yeah, we want to do AI. And then we have to switch our goalie here. Ivan Kovic was doing pretty well in the preseason. So we're going to get his first test here. 4-3 win. I mean, not bad. What was his grade for this game? He was 84. So I mean, he gets our first win. That's all we could really ask for. So we're 1-2. But it looks like, at least the division looks like it's a little bit wide open, at least for the third spot there. Granted, we do have that extra loss that Red Wings don't. And then it looks like we're facing Columbus there as a, I don't know, a revenge match for last season. So we want to put all in to this one. And as long as we're on top of the Leafs, we're also happy. But let's see if we can finally Ottinger's first win there, and we get to our revenge match. If only we could have done this in Game 7, it would have been our 4th trophy, but apparently not. Everyone looking pretty good there off this game, but it's going to be interesting to see after 10 games how well everyone actually is doing. Cole Caulfield with 3 goals in the top contention there, and then Benson was with 4 points, immediately getting knocked down because it looks like there's a huge shift there. Hischier ended up getting top spot there. Kamel actually looking like he's good in like 10 years. And Boston's our next game here. And we got Tampa Bay right after them. 3-2. That's what we like to see. Demidov, Carlson getting his first shorthanded goal. Cole Caulfield also getting it, but then no one's scoring for the longest time. So we only really scored early, and then we slowly let them get back into it. I'm going to try and change our harmony here. I wonder if it's going to actually let me do it, though. But still kind of teetering in. At least we know we beat Boston, and that's the team that we end up having to beat. And then Tampa would immediately shoot us back up. Let's look at team harmony. I don't know if we want to do the clicks first or what, but the Carlson thing, I don't know. I guess we want to make sure that he's good, probably with, well, I guess Suzuki, the guy that he ends up playing with. But it's not doing anything there, so I guess we're going to have to do that. And then it looks like someone else is going to be more upset too. Oh, never mind. At least Huang's out. I don't like the click thing. It just seems kind of stupid. (8-1). That's what we like to see there. So I guess the one click thing ended up helping us. But everyone getting on the score sheet there, even Frollo getting his first goal of the season. I'm just curious to see if it's New York or New York Islanders, but either way, they're towards the bottom. These are the games that we struggle against, though. It's the teams that we're supposed to win the 8-1s that we end up somehow losing in overtime. And if we end up losing in overtime, then I am not only a prophet, but this game is absolutely rigged and can hear what I'm saying. So 2-1. Oh my god, I was so close for the overtime. But that's stupid, right? Like, we win such a dominant thing against the team, and then we end up losing such a simple game like that. So 4-3, we're just above 500 here, and then we end up facing against Philly, who's at the bottom, who, like I said before, we're going to probably struggle again to beat them, and then we'll beat Detroit Red Wings if we end up playing them. So no injuries so far. That's what we like to see, though. At least there's some positive in this. 4-2, yeah. So we end up losing against a garbage team. This, I don't have a reasoning for this. It seems, I don't know, it seems kind of stupid. There's no reason why we end up losing. Oh, I guess we're at Philly, but there's no reason why we should be losing against a team that only won one before that. And then we're gonna destroy all the other teams. Like, we're still gonna finish at the top by the end of this. It's just disappointing that it's starting off that way, but the Red Wings and Bruins are also taking off pretty quickly. I mean, it only really looks like 2 wins above us, really, but I don't know. New Jersey also looking good. It doesn't look like we're going to get the the President's Trophy unless they really start to suffer here. But rubric improving. Everyone kind of improving a little bit. It's like what we like to see. Jerseys, we're not even at the top anymore. We used to be at the top. But now that we're not winning so handily early on, I think they just want to kind of take a seat and see where everything goes here. We got 2 more games here, and then we'll fast forward to the trade deadline. But 4-4 isn't great, isn't bad. It should be good enough to get a playoff spot there. Oh my god. These clicks things, it's so stupid. They gotta get rid of it. Because I don't see any benefit to this. So one of our... Okay, one of our clicks broke up, but then we formed two new ones. What the hell is going on here? And like, these don't even make sense. Chris Curtin isn't even playing, so he shouldn't even be in a click. And we get to pick one. Which one do we want? Gonna do this one, I guess. How can they, yeah, how can they be in a click and they're all pissed off at him too? Don't get it. And then Carlson ends up leaving the click. I don't know. Kind of pointless. I don't like the click thing. I didn't like it last year. It just seems like it destroys our harmony, and you can only do one at a time. It's not like you can do like a complete overhaul. And especially since we've been around for, like I said, most of the core's been around 10 years. They should have formed that click a long time ago. Instead of just doing it right now when we end up needing it. And we're just sucking because it's going to take at least half the season for us to start getting on the right page there. But Benson, Sharp, Frollo, Celebrini, Hopkins getting his first, and Slavkovsky getting his first. Slavkovsky hasn't scored yet. Jesus. Why would we what the hell? That's so stupid. Critiquing them after a 6-1 victory. And we face Buffalo again for the last one. Buffalo started off very strong, and now they kind of teetered off. This is what we like to see, because Buffalo has been kind of our rival throughout this whole process. But we do have a little bit less games. I know what that means. That means that we're going to have tons of double headers. And I think every other season we've actually played more than the other teams. And I don't know which one I'd rather, having all the points first or game at hand. So 4-1, we end up winning that. Carlson gets 4. St. Louis with his 4th and his 5th. Frollo with his 3rd. And that's all we really needed to put us in 4th place right now. But all within striking. We have that one extra game, so we can easily slot into the 3rd spot there. Probably in a wild card spot currently. I think it's going to be the last one that we're in. Yeah, we're currently in the 3rd spot there. Total league though, we are in 11th, so it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the teams that are in the top are in the East, and then 2 of those are in the division. And then you have their 2 top. Yeah, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of 11 teams are including us. 1, 2. Jesus. So, and even Rangers. I guess just Flyers and Leafs are at the bottom where they belong, with the Senators as well. But we'll take a quick look at how well our team's doing. Despite that, Cole Caulfield, point per game, that's the normal for him. Projected to do 98. I think he's going to do a little bit better than that. I think he's going to crack 100. Will Sharp doing pretty good now that he's top cheese on the lefty there. 10 points in 10 games. Benson with 10 points in 10 games, so justifying his contract that we ended up signing him. We signed him for 7.8 over 6 years with a no movement clause. I mean, it's probably only going to hurt us for 1 year because of our captain as well, like Suzuki, who's showing signs of slowing down on the second line there, I think. And then Carlson also 6, Huang with 7, Demidov with 9. So I think Demidov is probably going to do a little bit better than what he's doing currently. Rubrick also 6 and 10, 6 and 10 for Prudhomme, and Celebrini was 6 and 10 as well. Projected to do the same kind of stuff that he's been doing this whole season. So we'll fast forward to the trade deadline. I think this is the first trade deadline we're going to have to make a lot of moves. Whether or not we kind of go all in on this one, or we end up sitting back and then just playing the next 3 years and seeing what ends up happening. But we obviously don't want to destroy a franchise in the process. We just kind of want to see what we can do from now until then. And now we head towards the trade deadline here. And we are currently in 2nd in the Atlantic. and I think second in the whole NHL as well. Red Wings putting on a clinic. I mean, we do have 3 extra games, and we'd have to win those games to pull through. So, I mean, it's nice to have the 3 extra games with 41 wins in 16 games. Kind of the interesting part that we end up seeing, though, is currently, once it gets into history, Jake Oettinger is on pace to pass Carey Price as a wins leader, which would make him, in my books, probably a Hall of Famer. He should still be a Hall of Famer, winning 3 cups for us as well and 3 President's trophies. So there is that. And then I think the staff index here, currently we are with 452 wins, 304 losses, and 47 OTLs. I mean, when you look at it, we're kind of 1 cup away to be Lee Dan Duran, but that was back when there was probably only like 5 or 6 teams anyways that he's won 4 championships. The only one to really compare it to would be, I guess, couldn't even compare it to this guy. It would have to be, it'd have to be 63 to 1977 where he won 9 cups. I mean, we're in no way close to doing that, but still pretty interesting. Take a look at how well our team's been faring, and I saw it earlier, and it's kind of upsetting. You do have Cole Caulfield and Demidov who are taking the reins of this season, and then even Benson is now point per game guy, which I find great. At 27, that's when he's really coming into his own. Slafkovsky dropping off a little bit. He's now only a 4-star. He is 28, 64 points, or sorry, 45 points in 57 games, projected to get around 64 this season. It's not as much as we'd expect for how much we're paying him. Celebrini with 40 and 57 is around what he normally gets. I mean, 10 points, give or take, of what he normally gets. And then Carlson doing around the same as last season. So we do need him to step it up just a little bit, especially with like the Slafkovsky and them kind of slowing down. And then Huang, 38 points in 56 games. And then Vernhoff right behind him as well. Rubric with 35 and 57, but only 9 goals. So that's concerning. But the sad part is Suzuki with 33 and 57. He did manage to hit, I think, games played 1,000, and he managed to get 300 goals for and 500 assists. So it is pretty impressive with him. He will probably get 1,000 points by the end of his season, or by the end of his career, hopefully. But he is showing his age now. He's 33. I don't know. His contract's going to be a bit of a difficulty for us. 6.8. It's going to be kind of hard to do next season because we have all these other guys that end up making around the same as well. And Celebrini is going to get that pay raise. And then same thing with Rubric. But Rubric's not doing as well right now, so we might even get rid of him next season, or maybe even this trade deadline, depending on how we feel. Frollo also kind of a casualty as well. So there are a couple guys that we are definitely willing to let go here. And then because we also have like even defenders, Curtin, he should be serviceable there. And the only difference is Ivan Kovic, which he's doing well, though. He has 7 wins, 2 losses, and 1 shutout in 11 games. So that's pretty good. And then you have Oettinger, who's 34 wins and 14 losses in 49 games. So he's kind of doing a little bit worse than what he normally does. So he might have to lean on Ivan Kovic just a little bit more, just so he doesn't burn out. But he still wants to get the wins that he deserves. He is 34 though, so this also might be one of the last 2 seasons that he is with us, and even in the NHL. So he's probably going to more so slot as kind of, we might have to slot him as backup, kind of like half and half a little bit. Just because he only got the 51 wins the one time, but we are definitely going to need him for the postseason. So we might as well play Ivan Kovic as much as possible now, since I think that we're still in line to making the playoffs anyways. I mean, the difference between us and Bruins is huge. So we're much closer to the Red Wings than anything, and even wild card, 66 points. Yeah, 66 is around even where Boston is, and then 64 is where the drop would be. But looks like Leafs are Leafs got a new coach, and it looks like for whatever reason they're doing well. I don't know why they have Brad Trevelyan still on their team. I want to see his record because it can't be that good. I mean, 530 and 432 in around 1,000 games, but I got to take off. Let's look at the more recent. I mean, last season not too bad, right? 48. Oh, it does show it if I click on it. That's insane. I didn't realize that. Okay, so he's around 48. He's kind of done kind of what we've done, and then he had like a huge strand of mediocrity there. Somehow still managing to be the GM. Is Matthews still on this team? Matthews is still on this team. Is he? He has 2 more years. He has 2 more years on his contract. He is a 4-star now. And it looks like he is slowing down just a little bit. Because even last year he had 105 points in 75 games. Let's see who's still even on their team. Nylander's still on there as well. Nylander's now a 2.5-star, so he's going to retire soon. I think he retires after this season. So it'll be the end of that for them. It's a good thing they never won. We have 3, they have 0. Let's just point that out. And Samsonov's probably going to retire as well. Their team is going to be absolute trash. If we can even trade for a draft pick for them next year, that'd be fantastic. It says next year's win now, but I think they're this year's win now. McCarney's our only guy. I mean, they'd still have decent players, but you can definitely see that Matthews is going to age. I wouldn't mind facing them off in the first round. This would be probably the best case scenario for us. So let's just sim through towards the end of the season. We haven't done any acquisitions or any trades yet, but we'll probably do that now and then see who's on our team at the end of the season. And just like that, it's the end of the season. We're going to see who's nominated for what and see if we end up getting any silverware here. For Hart, nope, nothing close. Looks like it's going to be Bedard or Centella or McDavid. Samsonov, we don't even get the Vezina. Finished first and... Never mind. But it looks like we are nominated for Norris Trophy, exciting Vernhoff and Alex Huang, and then Kowalchuk in Chicago might also get it as well, but Huang should get it. I think he got it last year as well. Calder, yeah, we didn't have any rookies. Looks like Oberg or Eric 2 or Jay Miller might get it. Finally, we end up getting the Executive of the Year nomination, but we're probably not going to get it. I mean, we had a pretty good year, but I kind of doubt they're going to give it to us. Leo Carlson, Roger McQueen for the Selke, and Caden Taylor. And then Lady Bing, there's nothing there for us. Rucky is the only name that I really... Oh, and Isaac Rosen. Matthews for the Mark Messier leadership, and then Aho and McAvoy. Ted Lindsay, it looks like Connor Bedard or Connor McDavid or Santella, so pretty much the same people for I think it's the Hart Trophy there. Jack Adams, oh, we're nominated again, but kind of doubt that we're going to end up getting. Feels though this is a little bit of a surprise here. I feel as though we're not going to end up getting it. But looking at the NHL, we end up finishing first again. We managed to squeeze by Detroit Red Wings, but then they end up falling behind Columbus for 108 or for 106 under 108. So in terms of league, we did finish first in the league. We did outscore everyone, it looks like, 353 And then our goal difference was at least by 50 goals. So that's pretty realistic, I guess. We've managed to do that for the last couple seasons. But we'll take a look at how well we've done over the last little while. So the last couple seasons, we end up getting 57 is the highest win total that we've had, and the highest that they've had for 60 since 77. Oh no, even 15. I guess 77. Yeah, around 77, 78. So this is the biggest that they've had in around 50 years, I guess, at this point. Let's see who we have to thank for how well they've done. We'll look at here. Well, I guess we'll look at the one transaction that we ended up doing. We ended up trading for Cole Pearson. We ended up giving up Iginla, Rosa, and Hopkins, and a 7th and a 6th for Pearson here. And this is what he looks like. He's a left winger, two-way forward. The defensive rating is kind of what pushed us towards him, and a 66 grade before he came to us. His 68 with us, or sorry, his 68 before and then a 66 with us, but he still managed to get 20 points in 25 games. So all in all, that's pretty good. We'll look at how well everyone ended up doing. And then in terms of points, Cole Caulfield getting 102 in 82 games. Demidov getting 90 in 80 games. I knew that Cole Caulfield was going to be able to get 100. Demidov I thought was going to be able to do decent. Benson, surprising, 87. He's definitely getting his money's worth there. Slavkovsky now kind of drops off a significant amount. Slavkovsky at 29 is showing signs of aging. It's weird. At 29, it seems like that's what's set up in the system. Vernhoff, 59 points in 82 games. Carlson, 57 in 82. Pearson ended up getting 55 total in 82 games, which is pretty good. Better than Celebrini just by a little bit. And then Huang getting 53 in 82 games, or 81, sorry. St. Louis in 81 as well. So most of the players end up playing most of it. I think Strad is the only one really that didn't, and then Jenisic as well. So we are excited to see who we end up facing. I think we end up facing Toronto, maybe? No, we end up facing Boston. So we got Boston first. I think we've been doing well against them throughout the season. Kind of wish that we ended up losing the last couple games. We had 4 straight, while as Red Wings end up losing out their last 4. And Rangers end up winning their last 5. Insane. So it's kind of unfortunate. I was really hoping to face Toronto at least at some point. Hopefully we end up facing them in the conference finals then. So let the playoffs begin here. We are facing Boston first. Florida is facing Detroit. Toronto is against Columbus. New York Rangers against Philly. And then on the other side, you have Chicago and Nashville, Arizona, Minnesota, Vegas, Vancouver, and Dallas, Edmonton. It's probably going to be Edmonton. Edmonton's going to go through, and Chicago are probably going to go through. Those are the only 2 confident ones that I have. I think it's maybe Vancouver ends up making, and probably Minnesota. They've been a little bit better throughout the season. We're going to take care of Boston. I feel that Detroit is destined to face us in the next round, and then I'm going to go with Toronto. I want Toronto to end up making it so we can beat Matthews there, and then I'm going to go with the Rangers because we used to manage them a couple FMs ago. So let's actually go back to our roster here, see what they end up conjuring up here. So it looks like Rubrick, Gunnarsson, and Smith are all in the back line. Pearson's slotting on the 3rd line with Suzuki and St. Louis. Slavkovsky, Celebrini, and Carlson at the 2nd line, and then Cole Caulfield, Benson, and Demidov as the top. Will Sharp and Huang are our top, with Prudhomme and Vernhoff as our 2nd, and then we have Jenisic and Strnad to be our last D there, and then Ottinger obviously getting the start there. We are facing off against a team that 5-3 we lost first. I don't know. I think that was preseason though. 3-2 we ended up beating them. 4-1 we beat them, 1-0 we beat them, and then 5-1 we beat them. So I think October 4th is still preseason if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. So hopefully we can beat the pants off them and make it to the next round. Game 1 we lose 3-0, so obviously not what we intended there. Well, I don't know why we keep doing that. It's probably our team chemistry. Feels like that's what ends up affecting us a lot more than what it should. Feels like this save is destined for us to get out in the first round, probably even swept for that matter. Hopefully we manage to do it better this time. It's 3-2, so we managed to come back, but it takes overtime for us to do that. Frollo, Cole Caulfield, and Rubric finally getting on the score sheet there. And then it's tied, and then Edmonton's winning, like I said. And yeah, and then we have Rangers tied as well. It's tied all around, so it's a very, very split series. I think Edmonton's the only one that's decisively winning. But now we're going back to Boston, and I don't know. The nerves are definitely there. Development-wise, a little bit better. Vernhoff, at least the leadership is as well. St. Louis, team player and shooting accuracy, so those are pretty good. And then I think, oh no one's actually lost anything, so that's good. We're currently not the top in terms of sales, so that kind of sucks. And then, yeah, I don't really care about that too much. And let's see if we can win in Boston. 7-5, we do not. I don't know why we're playing such trash at the moment, but we need something to change. 2-1, and then Toronto's also winning 2-1 as well. And now we end up having the Hall of Fame in... Jeez. We don't really care about the Hall of Fame right now. I guess Johnny Gaudreau. Even though he hasn't done anything. It's the only person I can really think of. He probably doesn't deserve to end up getting nominated. Philly leads 2-1. Now we're back in Boston. Let's see if we can tie up the series again here. 7-2, we do. Beat them more decisively. Celebrini, Cole Caulfield finally showing up. Demidov finally getting his first and second, and Vernhoff getting off the mark there. Geez, finally they're starting to gel properly. Edmonton sweeps. Chicago looks like they're going to take Predators out there, and then everyone else is tied. All right, let's see if we can win at home. And we do, 4-1. We now finally take the series lead here. Cole Caulfield getting the first goal for us. Gunnarsson and Frollo and Slavkovsky getting one apiece for us as well. And then Columbus now leads, so is it going to be a showdown between us and Columbus eventually? New York also looking like they're going to push through there. And no changes it looks like for this. 5-2, so it goes to game 7 just off the bat there. 2 people to criticize? This never happened. Yeah, whatever. We're going to defend them both and tell them they need to improve. Columbus now wins, so 4-3 there. New York, yeah, this is going to be poetic for us to finish against the last place team there and end up losing this. See if we can manage to get this win. Nerves are definitely there. 5-4, thank God we end up getting the win there. Not making easy, going to overtime as well. Jesus. Okay, Suzuki finally getting his first goal. Puritan getting his first. Demidov getting his third, and Huang getting his first while Rubric gets his third. Who do we face next? Can't remember who it was between Detroit and them. Vancouver ends up winning, and Arizona ends up knocking them out. So we face Florida next. Let's hope that we can put on a stronger showing against them than we did against Boston there. That was we had them all season. That's kind of another thing that doesn't make sense is we had their number all season, and then somehow during the playoffs we just end up epically shitting the bed. So somehow we end up getting out of the first round there. Edmonton is destined to end up winning there. Vancouver's probably going to get knocked out. And then it's probably going to be a showdown again between Chicago and Edmonton. And I'm going to guess New York ends up making it. And I'm really, really desperately hoping that we end up making it through there. So far throughout the season, 4-1 win for us, but that's preseason as well. 3-2 win for Florida, 4-2 win for us, 6-1, and then 4-3. So, I mean, we have the edge against them as well. So this should be pretty straightforward here. And we lose the first game 6-0. You have got to be fucking kidding me. I don't even have any words for this. Jesus. This is how we're going to go out, eh? Going to go out against 7-3, so at least they're finally listening, but we shouldn't be shut out at all. We are the best team offensively, and I'm pretty sure the best team defensively. New York Rangers just leading the way crazy there. And then we go to Florida now. See if we can swap the series now. 4-3, so we managed to get there with overtime as well. Slavkovsky and then Joe Aginla getting it, so I think it was the trade that we ended up making then, right? Joe Aginla was our guy. Yep, of course. So he ends up scoring against us, traitor. Rubric and St. Louis, and then St. Louis getting another one as well. But so far, it doesn't look like the guy that we traded for is showing up either. Rangers lead, Chicago lead. Probably the teams that we don't want to end up having to face after this. All right, next game, again in Florida. 3-2 win, overtime again. So we just really want to make this difficult on us. But we do at least command 3-0 lead there. Rubric, Puritan getting on the score sheet there, and Huang as well. So 3-2 win there. 2-2 for Edmonton and Vancouver. Not as decisive as the Chicago one. Oh, Chicago is actually tied now. Rangers now pushing through, so we're going to face them in next round if we can manage to win this game at home, which we should. 6-3, so we managed to get 4 straight after losing the first one pretty handily. St. Louis, Prudhomme, Strnad, St. Louis, Huang, and Carlson there, all getting a piece for us. So Chicago leads and Edmonton leads. So like I said, it's going to be both of them. There's no way they're both tying. Maybe one of them ties, but I kind of doubt it. 4-2, 3-3. It's going to be Edmonton. This game is going to favor Edmonton for sure. Yep. And it's going to be Edmonton. So we end up facing New York. Unique New York. And let's see if we have what it takes here. We'll just do the AI setup organization and we will move forward with it. So we've only faced them 3 times. 2-1 loss against them, a 4-3 win, and then a 6-2 loss. So they do have the edge on us. We're just hoping that we can find a way to penetrate this team. First game 4-0, so starting off so good, but that's kind of how our series started last time, where we ended up going down 6-0 first. So St. Louis, Celebrini, Demidov, and St. Louis getting the last goal there. 1-0. It's gonna be Edmonton, I guess. I thought for sure we're gonna end up having to face Bedard. Game 2 here. 3-1 win. Gunnarsson, Cole Caulfield, and Prudhomme all getting on the score sheet there. So 2-0 so far. Much better. Why is it taking this long for us to get it going here? And then 2-0 the other way. Jesus. So it looks like it's going to be one of McDavid's last years. I think he signed an extension there for 2 years though, so he's desperate to get another cup there. We end up winning Game 3 in New York. It's like however well you do in the season doesn't really matter. They scored 3 in the first. Then we dominate the second with Cole Caulfield, Suzuki, and Cole Caulfield again. Cole Caulfield getting a hat trick just in the second. Benson, Rubrick, Cole Caulfield, and Gunnarsson, and then no score in the third. Weird. So we can win it if we beat them in New York. Let's see if we can do it. I think Shesterkin's gone out of the team, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, no one could stop Cole Caulfield, yeah. So you're going to finally get the top of the jerseys there. Cole Caulfield, number 1. Bedard, number 2. Hwang, Demidov, Suzuki. So we are starting to dominate this. Even Ivan Kovic is getting some nods there. Cade Smith also at the very, very bottom. So should be good finance for us until our owner ends up stealing all of it. The 3-0 Edmonton, so it looks like it might be a battle of the sweeps here. So let's see if both of our teams can manage to get the sweep here and make it to the finals that way. Be an interesting thing. It'll be the same kind of result for both of them. All right, Pecorine number 1. Oh, Carey Price. Carey Price can be number 1. Pecorine is number 2. Tavares never. And we can't ever vote for Marchand. Pavelski never won anything. Giroux did, I believe. No, Letang first. Doughty for sure, yeah. This seems obvious. So once more, we will do AI setup organization. See if we can manage to get the sweep. And we do not. We are the team that doesn't get the sweep, so they still have fight in them. So 3-1 series, Suzuki getting the only goal for us. Cole Baudin showing us that he's better off without us. Edmonton managed to get the sweep. That's kind of terrible for Bedard. That's also terrifying for us. So let's shake off this loss. Let's win at home. 3-2 overtime. Nope, no overtime. Frollo getting it. Lemieux for them, and then Suzuki and Gunnarsson getting it for us. So now we end up getting to the finals here against Edmonton. See if we can win it finally in their last year. Geez, they're making just nothing. Well, I mean, Bedard still did pretty well in the postseason. He got 17 points in 15, but just not enough. Not like his dominant 2 years in a row where he ended up winning it. Jeez, but I guess I was with an extra series there. Take a look at our roster here, AI setup organization, and here we go. Let's see if we have what it takes to end up beating them. They beat us first game, we beat them the second game, so the series is pretty split, facing off against Connor Bedard and Draisaitl and Bouchard as well. Let's see if we can manage to do it. I mean, in terms of points, even we squeezed in a little bit more. Goals-wise, still pretty close. Power play goals, they killed it, so we're going to be we're terrible on the power play, Jesus. Short-handed, we are number 1, though. Goals against is around the same, and then power play against, we're second, so, I mean, it's one of the best offenses on the power play against one of the best power kills, so we'll see who ends up on top here for game 1. 6-4, so we managed to win at home. We got home field advantage there. Snellgrove getting it, and Borgo. Rubrick, Demidov, and Slavkovsky, and Gunnarsson there, and then Janicic. Scoreless for McDavid. Weird. So game 2 we'll do... Let's see if we can manage to get 2 up. 5-2 there. Frollo, Hwang, and Gunnarsson there, Benson and Strnad. This could be it, guys. We could end up winning it. If we end up sweeping it, that'd be even more crazy. just because we couldn't do the other series. So now we're back. We're in Edmonton on the west. 6-1. Jesus. Everyone getting a show there. Gunnarsson, Puritan, Benson, and Cole Caulfield, and then both Puritan and Cole Caulfield. It's like you heard me say that he's been non-existent. Are we going to manage to end up winning this one? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let's quickly edit this, and we'll come right back after we sign everyone. And poof, just like that, all of the signings end up happening. So took around like 20 minutes just to do all that. Pretty crazy. Now we just have, I guess, Carey Price is our obvious vote for that. And then hopefully we can manage to beat Edmonton at home for the last game there. And then we're just going to do AI setup organization. We can go for the sweep here. Think we have what it takes here. Let's see. 5-3 we do not. Benson getting on the score sheet. St. Louis as well. But nope, they're resilient, so hopefully we can manage to win at home now. Which is better for the fans anyways. Jeez, this terrifies me. Let's do AI again. Surprisingly, no injuries in this postseason. Normally we are wrapped with them. See if we can win at home here. 3-2, we managed to win, thank God. Demidov, the superstar there. We end up winning in overtime. So who is our hero? Benson, and then St. Louis. St. Louis getting the golden goal for us. Oh, Draisaitl there, finally showing up with his 14th there. Didn't have to really worry about McDavid though, so that pretty good for us. So 4-1, we managed to win the last season that we're going to end up showing this because we're going to do a fast forward highlighting the next 3 seasons just because we're going to see kind of the development and see if this team can still end up winning them or who ends up winning them, and based on the 2023-2024 draft as well. So seeing how dominant Demidov can be and everyone else in that draft class, and we're going to kind of go through that because I think everyone in the game is pretty much retiring now as well. Suzuki's, I think, on his last leg there. So we'll kind of take a look at how well we've done. So it's taken us, what, 3 years to win it again. We managed to win the President's Trophy, and we managed to win it for this. Let's see who we have to thank for it in terms of our team there. Summary-wise, playoff. So, yeah, it's all Cole Caulfield and Demidov. 25, 12 goals, too. Geez, that's crucial. 7 goals for Demidov, but 21 points. And then St. Louis getting the 12 goals as well. Rubrick getting 10. That is shocking. Gunnarsson also, just a random signing that we did last year, and he's kind of finding his way in the team though, like at least in terms of the playoffs. 18 points in 21 games is huge. Yeah, it's actually massive. And then Benson getting 16 in 22, Rubrick with 15 in 22, 10 of those being goals. Huang getting 15, and Will Sharp getting 15 as well. Frollo getting 14, Slavkovsky, Celebrini, Prudhomme, Suzuki, Carlson all doing pretty well. I mean, getting at least a point every second game is pretty good for us. Puritan, as soon as we signed him to the contract, didn't do as well in terms of points, but in terms of grade, he was top 5. So that's kind of what we signed him for. Not necessarily get the points, but he was plus minus 4. Slavkovsky is a plus minus minus 10, and Celebrini as well. That line someone might have to leave. There's no way that we can allow that to happen again. Let's take a look at might have to be Celebrini, to be honest. Let's see, this is the first playoffs that he's had that. I'm surprised we won. Jeez, is that all just round 1? Slavkovsky, let's see how well he's fared in the playoffs. Minus 10, 7, minus 1 before. He did well last year, and we didn't win. And 68 grade as well. Let's take a look at our goalies. Probably only really Oninger there. 15, 6, and Ivan Kovic ended up getting 1 win there at one point. So it's a good thing that they realized that he was probably tired and we needed to put him in, and he ended up getting the one win. It's curious to see which win that was, though. Let's see which one it was. It was Boston. Was it the was it game 7? He was our savior for game 7. Got a 93 grade. What? We owe everything to. Let's take a look. Does it show schedule for that? Game 7, game 7, game 7. 5-4, is that it? Oh my god. Ivan Kovic ended up coming in. Oninger ended up letting in 4 goals initially, and then Ivan Kovic, our future goalie for sure, got 27 saves at the end of that. We got outshot crazily, I think. That is insane. Faceoffs one we won a lot more. Jesus, that's though I guess we shot more than they did. That's still insane. We owe everything to him getting the shutout in postseason. Jesus, that is insane. Looking in terms of the contracts, yeah, so Benson signed up for a while. Cole Caulfield as well. He's only 32, so we'll probably end up seeing at least up to 2035, 2036, but Suzuki's probably going to be retired at that point. So it's going to be the season after he retires that we're probably going to come back for and just kind of highlight that. We'll do it season by season so you can see everything. And then it looks like even Oninger might be gone because he'll be 35 or 36 at that point. So we'll have the reign of Ivan Kovic and then whoever else is going to be our goalie at then. But so far, I guess we'll end up doing how well we end up doing throughout everything. It's gonna. So for us, we managed to win 4 Stanley Cups, I think 4 President's Trophies as well, with a total of 468 wins there, 313 losses, and then 47 OTLs, which I find to be pretty darn good. And then we'll take a look in terms of the history. Oninger's in place to beat Carey Price in terms of wins leader. And I think even in terms of leaderboard, what is it? All right, let's see. Suzuki is at the top as well. He can manage to go. Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield can possibly be our franchise leader in points. And in goals, he's 4th. Assists, he is way at the bottom. But he passed Saku Koivu as well. So he's going to be our star for it. Suzuki as well. I mean, in terms of even just games played, Suzuki's top 5. So we owe everything to Suzuki. We owe everything to Cole Caulfield as well. It's a success. If you end up building everything around them, they for sure can win for you. Even Slavkovsky, 579. He's towards the bottom there, but he should still be able to impress for them. I think Celebrini might be the guy that we end up getting rid of if we need it. Mats Naslund. I thought it was Marcus Naslund for 2 seconds. But so far, I mean, we might end up looking at it and we have new leaders by the end of it. So we'll end up fast forwarding three seasons. If you don't end up watching the next episode, thank you so much for watching it up to this point. We'll do a little bit more of a deep dive in terms of everything, in terms of how well everyone kind of fared throughout this whole series during the next episode, and that will probably be it for the whole series. So thanks everyone for watching, and until next time.